What is up, y'all? Welcome back to episode 69 of That's No Moon Pod. Gonna just be talking about some stuff going around with Star Wars. I saw last week's X-Men 97 and Bad Batch, but as I'm recording this, both series just dropped their new episodes, so later this week, I'll pretty much just do a whole podcast surrounding both of those shows. Both those shows are still going strong. Um, X-Men 97 is popping right now. If you ain't watching it, I highly recommend it. Um, Bad Batch as well. But right now, I mean, there's just a whole lot going on internally with Star Wars, The Acolyte, um, and the new Outlaws video game that was announced, set to come out this year as well. And I'm just gonna give my thoughts on some of the news that's been going around with those. Um, with the Outlaws video game, I made a pod talking about it, saying how I didn't think that it looked spectacular. I thought the graphics looked fine. Um, the story just seemed kind of generic and something that we've seen before with Star Wars and with just a whole bunch of bounty hunter type scoundrel storylines. The female protagonist gotta pay off this debt or do this certain job to pretty much buy her freedom. And I still feel the same way. Uh, there's just been a lot of controversy kind of circulating around it now, especially with Ubisoft, the game developer company. And one of the big story points was that there was supposed to be, or there is, a Jabba the Hutt, Jabba's Palace type mission that's supposed to be in the game. We see it in the trailer, but the whole deal that came out was that that certain mission was going to be behind a paywall. So instead of just buying the game when it comes out, you would have to download this bundle or DLC just to play this particular mission, even though we see it in the trailer and it looked like one of the cooler moments throughout that trailer, to be honest. Just the fact that you could, go to Jabba's palace and deal with him and do whatever kind of mission that they have you do in the game. And obviously, people got upset because why you putting that in the trailer and then just have us end up having to buy the whole mission, just that specific mission on its own separately, when it really should just be in the game at launch. And I read something today that Ubisoft came out and said that supposedly, I don't know if it's 100% confirmed yet, but they're pretty much just going to drop the whole DLC thing and have it in the game during launch. And again, I don't know if that's fully confirmed yet, but that's why I had seen on Instagram some Ubisoft representative came out and said that it'd be available, which is good if it's true. Um, it sucks that nowadays, especially the whole video game industry is just kind of pretty much just a cash grab for so many titles. Um, DLCs, skins, just unlockable characters. We saw that big time with the Battlefront series that got a lot of people upset with EA. Um, and it just sucks because, again, nowadays you buy a video game and first thought, I mean, you're just hoping that there's no bugs and that the game just runs as smooth as possible at launch when you buy it because, we're dropping 60, $70, sometimes over $100 for some kind of special edition. And that's the whole point I'm trying to get at is, you know, the video game industry is just so much of a cash grab now. Um, Everything's behind a paywall, even after you buy the game. And I don't know if it's just some kind of, obviously it's something to do with these companies to where it's like, just wanting to get extra cash out of the consumers, which is us. Um, if we really want to play the game or if we really want to unlock certain things, then they put it behind a paywall, and it's just another way for them to get extra money from us, um, which is sad. I mean, the only way I see that whole scenario being cool is if, if they're dropping some kind of DLC and it's like pretty much a whole new expansion pack to where you get, pretty much a whole new storyline, kind of like what they did with Cyberpunk. They did the whole thing with Phantom Liberty, and I bought it. I bought the extra DLC because it was pretty much a whole new story point within the game. It wasn't just like some like one particular mission and some skins or whatever. Um, they actually expanded the game as a whole and just give you a lot more to do if you've already completed the game and missions. And that's the only case to where I see it's fine. Um, I think a lot of these things, skins, characters, and whatnot, weapons, um, it should just be implemented in the game. And if people really want them, then they play the game, do whatever objectives or missions or just overall challenges, and then they can unlock, those accessories on their own without having to pay an extra, 20, $30 just to get these unlockables. Um, but that just seems like it's been a big problem with video games lately. Um, there's certain games that obviously don't do it, but it feels like everyone does nowadays. The video game industry is kind of in a weird place right now. I feel like, um, I mean, until we get Grand Theft Auto 6, that whole year, everyone's gonna be playing that game. And, anyone who's dropping that particular year might as well just stay out of the way because that's gonna be the highest selling game of the year, no doubt. Gonna be the most played, the most streamed. And, I'm hoping in the near future that these game companies can start to realize that, look, less and less people are going to be wanting to play the game if you have so many of these, unlockables and missions behind a paywall. Um, because in the old days, you could just buy a game and everything was pretty much in there. And if you wanted it, you completed the challenges and then you got it. Put in the time. They didn't make it, completely impossible for you to unlock these certain things. You just had to play the game. And I'm hoping that the game industry could kind of settle down and kind of get back on track with, pleasing us, the consumers. And, video games are so popular nowadays. It's bigger than it's ever been, especially with streaming. Um, Everyone plays video games now. It's not just, you know, those, those nerds that wanted to just play video games all day. And I was just, you got hot chicks on Twitch doing it. You got famous people, celebrities, and people are becoming celebrities just off of playing video games, which is awesome. It's one of the coolest things to happen. Um, Video games are finally they got their respect throughout the years, and now it's a cool thing to do. Um, yeah, I'm just hoping Ubisoft kind of fixes their whole deal with the game. Um, the Outlaws. Another thing that I heard about the game was that the female protagonist in the game, people were kind of complaining on her look, I guess, saying that she kind of looked a little plain, kind of boring, I guess. And I didn't think of it when I first watched the trailer, but I did have some kind of feeling that for whatever reason she didn't intrigue me. Um, she didn't look. Um, I just didn't think she looked cool or someone that I would want to, be excited to play as in a video game throughout the whole series. And apparently, a lot of people felt the same way, and that was kind of a talking point in the comments. Um, and supposedly, well, not supposedly, the actress, the voice actress, the person that's kind of what Cameron Monaghan did for Cal Kestis in Jedi Fallen Order. Um, the actress playing the female protagonist in The Outlaws looks completely different than what she's portrayed as in the video game, The Outlaws. And when I saw this, I was kind of taken back because if you look at the actress, um, who the character is based off of, the actual actress, she looks pretty much completely different. The face looks pretty much the same ish, but the actress is looks like she's Latina or some kind of other ethnicity, and she's real pretty. She's attractive, and I'm wondering why the game developers decided to go a different route with her look. Um, because to me personally, I think the actress portraying the character, looks wise, just has a more, not even just attractive as in her looks, but just overall her appeal. Um, looks more of an interesting character than what we got in the video game. And I don't know what decisions were made, that they ended up on that to go with this, particular look of her. But I think it's kind of a mistake. Um, Usually, especially with a lot of entertainment nowadays, they kind of want that, an ethnic person being the protagonist or whatever. Um, because again, Cameron Monaghan, Cal Kestis, he's pretty much the same guy. Like looks wise, you know, it's the same deal. And even with the Force Unleashed, the um, the actor portraying Starkiller, it's pretty much the same thing, um, identical. Like that, the actors in those video games were pretty much what we got, um, and they didn't really change much to their appearance. So for them to do it with this video game, it's kind of a weird choice in my opinion. Um, Obviously, I think it's too late for them to change anything now, but I think they did a little bit of a disservice to the actress because obviously she got paid and she could still say, that's me, that's my character, but in a way, for them to change her looks the way they did, she's got to feel some type of way for them to change her appearance because I don't know, she might not feel like, well, did I not have the right look or, why did y'all even get me on board if y'all were going to change me the way y'all did? Um, which is sad. I hope she doesn't feel any type of way about it, but we just got to live with that and see, how the game plays out in the end. Um, it's not the biggest gameplay, discrepancy that could happen, but again, I just think it was a weird choice for them to change her appearance the way that they did. Um, some other Star Wars stuff going on. Uh, there's just more and more coming out about the Acolyte the closer we get to June when it releases. Um, and one of the bigger talking points was supposedly they're going to try to one up the Darth Maul, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan battle scene in the Phantom Menace. That's something that they wanted to focus on apparently, that they want to make the lightsaber battles in the Acolyte, go toe to toe with those battles, um, which is a tall order to say the least. Um, that's easily, for a lot of people, that's easily the best lightsaber duel in all of Star Wars. It's probably a lot of people's favorite. Um, Definitely mine. You just see the work that the actors played in, um, or the work that they put in. Um, there's a lot of emotion and just overall it fit with the story. It was all kind of leading up to that moment, um, and it made sense. It wasn't just let's have these guys fight for the hell of it. Let's It's part of the story and it has a lot of implications on where the series goes from there on. Um, I don't think that they're going to be able to top that, to be honest. They might try, but I've said on a couple podcasts on here that um, that's one of the things that I feel like Star Wars with Disney has really been lacking for whatever reason. Um, the lightsaber fights just have not been it, and that's from sequel trilogies and all these original series that we've gotten. They just have not been up to par from what myself and I think a lot of fans have gotten used to with Star Wars. Um, I remember they said something at Rise of Skywalker there was going to be some crazy, one of the best lightsaber fights that we've gotten in Star Wars, and that obviously was not the case. Um, a lot of people like the Darth Vader versus Obi-Wan in the Kenobi series. Um, I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was anything, too memorable besides, the whole ending with Obi-Wan slashing Vader's mask and kind of having that moment between him and Hayden, Anakin again. Um, but the fights just have not been what we're used to, especially coming off of the prequel trilogy where everything is just fast, crisp, and there's a lot of emotion behind it and just makes sense for the story. It's not just they throw it in there just because they have to. Um, I'm hoping that they're able to do this correctly for the show because during this time, during the Acolyte, the Jedi should be, they're in their prime. They should be able to throw down with the best of them at this point in time. There shouldn't be any kind of clunky or slow movements. It should just be kind of what we were used to seeing in the prequels. Now, hopefully, they're able to throw in that emotion and have it to where it makes sense with the story and kind of push it forward instead of just kind of giving us some flashy stuff again just for the hell of it. Um, but the vibes just keep getting weirder and weirder for the show. The more and more that the showrunner just keeps talking about it, it just seems like it's not nothing that they're saying is doing the show justice right now or getting people too excited. Um, I think they need to drop another trailer soon, hopefully next month at least, to kind of showcase a little bit more of the action scenes and kind of what we can expect. Um, but I don't know. Hopefully they're able to at least. I mean, if they're able to kind of do it in some kind of way to where at least obviously not top the Darth Maul fight, but at least make it worth our while to where we walk away saying like, damn, that was one of the better lightsaber fights that we've gotten in a really long time. But it all depends on the choreographers and who they get to do them. The OG ones from the prequels, especially. I mean, they knew what they were doing in the prequels, and whoever they decide to do the choreography for the show better have its knowledge and what people are coming to expect with these fights, and again, hopefully it plays well on screen. Um, Daisy Ridley supposedly is going to be reading the script for her movie pretty soon. Um, I don't know how she hasn't read it yet. She might have as I'm recording this. I don't know, but that's just something else that's going around in the zeitgeist with Star Wars. That's just kind of getting people a little whatever, I guess, right now. Again, just the vibes. Besides the Bad Batch and the Tales of the Empire coming out in May, those are kind of the only two things that have really been consistent fan base wise with the love for those shows, or just the love that the Tales of the Empire is getting right now, the excitement. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Um, yeah, I'm gonna hop back on here and do another pod talking about last week's Bad Batch and X-Men '97, and also going over the newest episodes that just dropped today for both shows. So next pod will just pretty much be talking about the story points on there and just kind of giving my reviews of the shows. Uh, like, comment, subscribe. Links will be down in the description for all my socials. Posting comic books still on my IG, new releases, variant covers. So go follow me on there if you're into comic books. And yeah, until the next pod, y'all stay safe. And I'll catch y'all on the flip. Peace.